Getting a driver's license used to be one of the biggest milestones of the teen years. But today, many teen boys are waiting longer than ever to get theirs. So, what changed? If your son seems uninterested in driving, you're not alone. In this episode, we're taking a closer look at a growing trend among teens and exploring what it could mean for their path toward adulthood. Some of the reasons may not be what you expect. Welcome to Raising Boys with Purpose, a Christian parenting podcast for moms raising teens and young adult sons. I'm Brooke, a boy mom and parenting coach, and here we talk about raising sons, building character, and preparing our boys for adulthood with confidence and faith. For more encouragement and conversation throughout the week, come join our Raising Boys with Purpose Facebook group. The link for all my social media is in the description. Has your teen son or someone he knows delayed getting his driver's license? In the U.S., getting your driver's license at 16 is a huge milestone, and one that teens have looked forward to for decades. But over the past few years, I've noticed that more and more teens are waiting a year or even longer before getting theirs. If you've seen this with your own son, you're not alone. So why are some teens eager to get behind the wheel while others seem perfectly content to wait? And if your son is delaying his license, should you be concerned? Both my boys got their driver's license within a few months of turning 16. They were looking forward to it, and admittedly, so was I. They were both busy in high school with jobs, activities, and friends, and having their license allowed them to stay active while also giving me a little more flexibility in my schedule. Once my oldest got his permit, I was very seldom allowed to even drive while he was with me. He wanted to drive all the time. And even though he was a good driver, it could be a little stressful being both the parent and the driving instructor. Sometimes I just have to tell him, I'm driving this time because I need to just get from point A to point B without the stress. At the time, I was mostly focused on helping him become a safe driver. Looking back, I can see that he wasn't just learning to drive. He was learning how to handle more responsibility and independence. So why is getting a driver's license such a milestone for teens? Well, for many teens, getting their driver's license represents a new level of independence. They no longer need to rely on their parents for every ride, and they gain more flexibility and freedom in their schedules. Even if your son doesn't have his own car, having a license often means he can borrow the family vehicle when appropriate. Activities become easier to manage. Part-time jobs become more accessible, and coordinating rides become less complicated for everyone. There's also a sense of growing up that comes with earning a license. To get there, teens have studied, practiced, and passed a test. They've demonstrated that they're capable of handling an important responsibility. It's one more step toward adulthood, and another opportunity to build confidence, accountability, and decision-making skills. But here's what surprised me. Even though I was looking forward to my boys getting their licenses and gaining some independence, part of me missed those years before they could drive. Those car rides to school, practice, church, or a friend's house gave us time together that was hard to find anywhere else. We were stuck in the same space with few distractions and nowhere else to be. Some of our best conversations happened during those drives. As moms, we often celebrate our sons' growing independence while also recognizing that each new milestone means things are changing. So here's something to think about. What are some things you'll miss or have missed as your son becomes more independent? Now, with all these benefits, why would a teen delay getting his driver's license? The answer may be different for every family. For some teens, though, anxiety plays a role. Depending on where you live, traffic can feel overwhelming. If your son regularly hears conversations about accidents, road rage, or unsafe drivers, getting behind the wheel may feel intimidating rather than exciting. And if that's the case, don't panic. Check your local laws, but in many states, teens can keep their learner's permit for an extended period of time. If your son isn't ready for his license yet, additional practice may be exactly what he needs. Driving in different environments and situations can help him build confidence over time. For other teens, practical concerns may be part of the equation. Some are aware that adding a teen driver increases insurance costs, and they may feel guilty about creating an additional expense for the family. Others may know they'll need a job to help pay for gas, insurance, or car expenses, and don't really feel ready for that responsibility yet. Having an honest conversation can go a long way. When teens understand the financial realities and are invited into the conversation, they'll often feel more empowered to help create a plan. And in some cases, a driver's license simply isn't necessary right now. If your family lives in an area with reliable public transportation, walkable communities, or accessible rideshare options, your son may not feel much urgency to drive. That doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong. His needs may change later with college, work, travel, or other responsibilities. And when that time comes, you can revisit the conversation together. As parents, it's easy to compare our sons to what other teens are doing. But maybe the better question isn't, does my son have his license yet? Maybe the question should be, is my son continuing to grow in confidence, responsibility, and independence? For some teens, getting a license at 16 is part of that journey. For others, it may happen a little later. If your son isn't ready yet, have you talked about why? Is there a fear that needs to be addressed? A practical obstacle that needs a solution? Or does he simply need more time and experience? Understanding the why often matters more than focusing on the timeline. Driving gives teens an opportunity to develop real-world skills like responsibility, accountability, and independence. Can those skills be learned in other ways? Absolutely. But for many teens, earning a driver's license becomes an important step toward adulthood and a chance to practice managing greater freedom. And if your son isn't ready at 16, that's okay. The goal is not to rush him. The goal is to understand what's holding him back and help him continue moving forward. Whether your son gets his license right away or waits a little longer, he needs to know that you're in his corner, encouraging him, supporting him, and helping him prepare for whatever comes next. If this episode of Raising Boys with Purpose encouraged you, please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of this podcast. And if you're raising a teen or young adult son and want encouragement and practical guidance, come join us in the Raising Boys with Purpose Facebook community. The link is below. Thanks for being here today. Now grab your iced coffee, hug your son, and remember, you're raising him with purpose.